Uh, huh. Hi guys, this is Dipesh from Remam Fitness, and we are gonna have a very special guest with us today, Srinadi. She is a psychologist. So today we are gonna talk about mental health. I know lockdown has been be a very difficult thing for all of us. So let's bring Srinadi live with us, and just a second. Hi Mayur, good to have you here. Uh, I'm just waiting. She's about to join. Hi Srinidhi.
Hi, Dipesh.
Good to have you here.
I'm happy to be here as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so how is it going? How has it been going during lockdown?
Actually, being an introvert, so I don't mind the lockdown as much. But yes, there have been a lot of barriers in how you function and how you don't function, and that
Mm.
you have to do a lot of changes in your lifestyle and the way you go about things and so on. So yeah, it has been a little difficult and changing time. Yeah.
Okay. So how it's been for your business?
Actually, for my work, I am getting more calls than usual. I'm getting more people who come up to me and seek help. Of course, it is bound to happen since the stagnancy, the uncertainty, and a lot of people love to travel. This is a holiday season. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I get a lot of calls from students, I get a lot of calls from parents, I get few calls from children. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So would you? I just like to have a brief. Would you like to give us a brief introduction of about yourself, about your background?
Okay.
Like, yeah.
All
Please go
right.
ahead.
See, okay. I have done my bachelor's in human development, and then I pursued my master's degree in school psychology. And right now, I'm just one examination shy of completing my clinical psychology.
Mm-hmm.
I have been working with multiple NGOs and few schools earlier, and right now, I'm taking a few adult cases under supervision of my mentors. So, yeah.
So So initially during the lockdown days, I used to see so many memes regarding, people getting divorced, and I don't know, it was serious or
Mhm.
what. So has there been
Mhm.
any increase in your client base or people approaching you regarding anything, not about the divorce part, of course, but during, because
Oh, yeah.
it's tough to sit 24 hours a day, inside one place.
See, I don't know what the general belief is, but I feel that actually space is very, very, very important part of any relationship. So the moment you
Okay.
are locked inside one house for a long duration, there tends to be a little friction among relationships. So yes, I am getting a few calls regarding the relationship domain as well.
Mhm.
And yeah, there are a lot of factors. When you are stuck in one place and you have not come up with a plan to engage yourself in doing a lot of stuff,
Mhm.
then your mind has a chance to overthink a lot.
Sure.
So then your mind can go to any conclusions, can go to any level of, problem making rather than problem solving. Because as you say, as everyone says, mind doesn't need a passport and a visa. It can travel anywhere. So yeah, there can be a lot of issues. I am getting a few calls regarding relationship as well, and in other aspects as well.
Okay, so what are the major ones, like any particular category, or any major issues people are facing?
Many a times it's most of the calls I'm getting right now are
Mhm.
relationship based,
Yeah,
because even the previous triggers are coming out right now,
sure, sure.
because you can't escape. Sleep
Yeah.
is your only escape right now.
True.
Then other aspects, which is you have an existential crisis. What am I going to do? What am I? Where do I go? Because a lot of people, they have many chance to seek various options, various hobbies, and so on, or love to travel, do a lot of things, meet people. But now everything has stopped. So now they have nowhere to go except for looking at themselves. So there is an existential crisis problem which many of them are facing. How do I go about my life? What do I do in life? Now the other issue is, of course, body.
Yeah.
Because now lockdown है, yummy food घर पे मिल रहा है. How do I lose? What do I do with my appearance? I'm gaining weight. I don't know how to, I don't know how to go about it. So yeah, there are a lot of body issues and physical related, doubts and all that. Many people are taking steps to get over it and to,
Mhm.
get rid of their old eating habits and so on. But then without the guidance of a nutritionist or a fitness person, they just go about it and they go for a crash diet. And वो crash diet के जगह crash खाली रह जाता है.
Yeah.
So that's the issue many of them are facing now.
So how do you counsel them? Like, of course, you said ki your empty mind is the devil's, workshop. So that is the reason behind people. So maybe a lack of hobbies might be a reason. So what? How do you counsel them? What actually? What are the solutions you give to the people who are facing these kinds of problems?
It depends from person to person, of course, their interest areas and what they would like to do, what they're capable of doing. But one thing which I normally suggest most of the people who give me a call or ask for a session is that please regulate your food,
Mm-hmm.
sleep, and exercise. Do whatever you want, but these three things are very, very important. So once these three things are regulated, you find your mind is fresh enough and healthy enough to find solutions for themselves. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you this next question. So is there any relation between your mood and exercise? Because me being a fitness freak or a nutritionist, so I've been into this
Mm-hmm.
field for a long time. So what I've
Mm-hmm.
experienced is you're not feeling good, you go out to the gym or you go out for a walk or you go for a run
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
feel there's something that goes inside your brain that just makes you feel good. So is there any relation between exercise and your mood?
Yes, yes, definitely. Like, for example, a lot of us face a lot of pent-up emotions. It may be pent-up stress, pent-up anxiety, pent-up sadness, anything
Hmm.
which is in a large amount. When that has to be released, just little things is not enough. So, when you exercise, when you work out, you're not only working out your body, but you are also working out and venting off those pent up emotions. So
Hmm.
many a times, if you have seen, even in movies, they show it that when you go for a run, when you go for a jog, or you do something which is physically straining, you feel a lot lighter, because when you are low or when you are in a mental distress, not only your mind is heavy, your body gets heavy too. So you need to get it out of you.
So of course, so definitely there's a definite direct relation between mood and exercise. So
Yes,
does the hormones and all gets affected by it? Is there any
definitely.
okay?
Yes,
So
yes.
so
Like
any
for
kind.
example, people who do tend to have uh, uh, PCOD or PCOS,
Mm-hmm.
they go about the thing that, yeah, I have PCOD, I have PCOS, that's why I am feeling, that's why I have grown a lot in physique, or I have gained a lot of weight and so on. But when you work out, see, now when it comes to PCOS and PCOD,
Mm-hmm.
you do tend to gain weight, but there are also a lot of mood disruptions which you're facing, because when your hormones are not in balance, you do have a lot of mood disturbances. You feel low, you feel very unstable, you go from one mood to another, you just jump from moods. And when you go for working out, or when you have a
Mm-hmm.
good diet and so on, not only are you taking care of your body, you are taking care of your mind as well. Because once the hormones are in balance,
Mm.
once your PCOD, PCOS symptoms are under control, and they do get under control with good nutrition and workout. Once they are under control, you are less vulnerable to mood disruptions.
That's what even we have known in a fitness field. Ki there, like me as a nutritionist, a lot of people approach me, and
Hmm.
lot of people think that PCOD is something which can't be reversible, or they go for like artificial pills and all. So,
Hmm.
but they have to understand that this thing can be, reversed, and it can people can get better just by having a proper nutrition, and of course, exercise is one of things. So, any kind of particular exercise you suggest them, or any kind of physical activity would work.
Everyone has their criteria of what they want from their own body. So of course, weight training helps a lot of people. Then jogging helps a lot of people. Yoga helps a lot of people. As we had a discussion earlier, see, yoga is for stretching, and weight training is for strength, and aerobics and cardio is for your other physical needs and so on. So it is, of course, it always depends on person to person and their needs, of course. But yeah, any kind of physical exercise which works for you, you go for it. Like, for example, for some people who may not be very used to exercise, or who
Mm.
do not have an inclination for exercise per se, but they do like some dance forms, they can go for it. Any type of thing from which you sweat out, where from which you do feel better, and you do get better in shape, in physique, you start liking what you see in the mirror, go for that.
Yeah. So once you give this advice to your clients, of course, then has there any client or who has come to you with a personal victory and telling this thing actually works, you can
Yes, actually.
yeah, you can
I had I had a lot of calls, but I'll tell you about one of the call. He had trouble in sleep. He could not sleep,
okay.
and there was no particular trauma seen as such. Just that there is a constant conflict between him and his parents, but that was also not very severe. But he was having a lot of trouble sleeping. So when I introduced that, you can have something fulfilling, good, nutritious in the evening, not late at night, in the evening, and then you have a good workout
Mm-hmm.
before, probably in the before eating in the evening, and then or in the morning or something like that, and then keep yourself engaged, do something which keeps you moving for the rest of the day, and let's see what happens. And he, not immediately of course, but
Yeah.
eventually he did get into a healthy sleep habit. Of course,
Oh,
but his sleep pattern is a little difficult than, I mean, different than other people. But yes, there was a lot of improvement, and since there was an improvement in sleep, there was a
yeah.
lot of improvement in his mental health as well.
And that's good to hear. And so that was the exercise part. So let's discuss about nutrition. So role of what is the role of nutrition and your mental health? Like, yes. So exercise we have already discussed. So
Yeah.
the just tell us about the role of nutrition or the food. Uh,
See, it is all linked to each other. Now, if you have good nutritious food and not just empty calories and so on, if you have a balanced diet which covers all the nutrients in the required amounts,
mhm.
then your body is, I'll just talk as if your body is a separate entity. Your body is very, very happy with you, and then the functioning goes better, and then the neurotransmitters your body needs, like dopamine,
True.
serotonin, and
Mhm.
everything comes out in balance. So it is, yeah, so that is very much required for your body. Now, when it comes to food and nutrition, just working out is of course never enough. What
Mhm.
if you are having only vada pav and samosas every day, and you expect yourself to get in shape, and you are working your ass off? You are really, really working out so much, but you're not getting the result you want. then again you are prone to get low moods, depression, anxiety. You start coming, of course your overthinking comes into place. So of course you start thinking that, oh my god, what if I have this disorder, what if I have that body problems, and so on. So when you keep your body, I mean, you have to respect your body. So
True.
when you put in stuff inside your body which are good for you, of course you get good results. And it helps balance your mood, it helps balance your body, it helps increase your self-esteem, a lot of things.
Of course, self-esteem. I didn't know that. So,
Yeah, of
okay.
course. See, if you feel that you have been right, and if you have been respectful towards you,
Mm-hmm.
you do have. See, self-love is not just pampering yourself. Self-love
True.
is not, see, okay, I was mood low today, I'll go for shopping. No, that is not self-love. Self-love is learning to take care of your mind, body, and soul. You have to put good nutrition for all these three factors and not just one of them. So, yeah.
So there's one thing I liked. You said complete nutrition. There's a point you said complete. It doesn't has to be just you have to be in a calorie deficit or something like that. So that is one point I would, as a nutritionist, I would like to tell people, like, you have to have a complete, all the macros and micros has to be
Yeah.
has to be taken care of for you to be in a proper health. So our next question would be regarding sugar consumption. So is there any
Okay.
relation between, like, as a trainer or a
Hmm.
nutritionist, I would recommend people not to at least even have it at
Hmm.
their place. So but then it does give that some kind of effect. It makes you feel good. So what's about that than sugar?
Okay,
What's
when you take if you're seen in a lot of breakup cases, you tend to eat a lot of chocolates the moment you're feeling very
true,
low,
true,
or the sugar makes you feel better. That is a kind of addiction, because what happens is when you have a lot of sugar, it overloads your brain with dopamine, which are
true.
feel good hormones. But you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be dependent on that. Those feel good hormones can be released with other mediums as well, which are more healthier. Now, sugar का problem is, the more sugar you have, the more vulnerable you are to depression. Because in depression and schizophrenia people, they have a hormone called BNDF. Okay, now
Okay.
that hormone is already low in those people, and when you have sugar, that hormone releasing itself is suppressed even more. So you get more prone to depression, you get more prone to psychosis. So that is why it is a big no-no. Of course, living in India, it is very difficult to be completely off sugar, but you have to have it in very, very small dosages or in moderation. You cannot cut down immediately, of course, but you have to have a very moderate amount. And same thing with anxiety as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sugar does not necessarily cause anxiety, but it can trigger anxiety, because when you have too much sugar, your body takes a long time to adjust to it, to digest it. So you feel dizzy, you feel faint, you feel fatigued, and then that increases your anxiety even more, because you know panic is not only panic. The first time it is panic, second time it is fear of panic.
True.
So, yeah, so even the slightest things which indicate that, oh my God, this is not going according to how I want it, can trigger anxiety. And I can just go on about sugar. Should
Yeah, sure.
I go on?
It's up to you. I'm actually liking it.
Uh,
It's
yeah,
good to hear
so
all
yeah,
that.
there are a lot of problems when it comes to sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, as I said, dopamine, of course, you feel high and all that, but that is an addicting factor. It is seen that it was not done on human beings, but it was seen on rats. That when a rat was given a lot of, sugar, and that was its diet for the whole time, and when that sugar was cut off completely, he showed the exact, I mean, they showed the
Mm-hmm.
exact symptoms of how a person would from cocaine withdrawal.
Well,
That is the level of addiction that can face. Now, of course, when it comes to learning and memory, sugar does have a huge impact on when it comes to cognitive abilities. It
okay.
suppresses the functioning, because, of course, your body is otherwise very much engaged in digesting the sugars. It takes a lot of efforts to break down the sugars. So your
Okay.
body's attention and your brain functioning and everything is focused on that. So of course, your decision making, your learning, your memory, and everything comes down.
That's a new thing I've learned today.
Yeah.
So it can be said that the sugar is like alcohol, which a person who needs it, like needs, and like if he is uh, he requires it, you'll give it to him, but then it doesn't do any good to him. So it's the sugar is the same
Yeah.
thing for me, you know?
Yeah, yeah. As I had read recently that sugar is an anti-nutrient. It's not even a proper nutrient. I think I'd seen it on your post.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's an
it does not help. It does not help. For some people who need glucose, of course, that can be given under guidance, but otherwise, it's not a very helpful, nutrient.
nice. So what about processed foods?
Same
Processed
impact
food.
as sugar because, excuse me,
Sure.
when it comes to processed food, they have a lot of preservatives. It has a lot of procedures which are done to it so that it lasts for a longer time. And of course, anything which is not natural will have its side effects, will have a lot of problems when we intake it for a long duration of time. Like, for example, same thing as sugar. When
Yeah.
sugar is taken out, then we feel a lot of of course, someone who's very dependent on sugar, you feel like you need that sugar. For people who have seen, uh, what is that? Dil Dhadakne Do. The moment she feels low, she will eat cake or
Yeah.
something like that. Same thing with chips, same thing with packaged noodles, anything and everything which is not natural, which has a lot of chemicals, which has a lot of preservatives in it, is not going to help you. No matter how much they put that logo that this is organic, if
Mhm.
it has preservatives, if it has undergone a lot of packaging and whatever it has gone through, then it is not healthy. And even if it is healthy, it is way
Mhm.
more dangerous than the amount of healthy it is. So
That's what.
try to avoid that.
Carry on, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what
That
I was wondering why it's very difficult for me to, ask my client to get rid of all those things because it
it is
does make
addictive.
them,
It's
yeah, it's
not
addictive.
easy to let go of it.
Yeah.
They have this MSG, which is actually addictive, which is actually not recommended for children who are less than 7 years. But then you see, even a 3-year-old will have a kurkure wala packet, and it does contain MSG, and MSG is actually very very addictive. It is not at all good. It increases your sodium level to a very very high level.
So that can lead to blood pressure problems and all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was sugar. What about, because so what we have learned is sugar, general people consume because it releases that hormone dopamine to make themselves feel good, but then you become dependent on it, and over a period of time it can lead to depression. So what about tea and coffee? Because as a nutritionist, sometimes when people approach me, uh,
Hmm.
so what we know, like caffeine has
Hmm.
a role in fat loss. Of course, then it's not a magic pill. You have to control your macros, but
Hmm.
then it does act as a catalyst. So, what about tea and coffee? Tea and coffee's role as a stimulant or a mood enhancer,
Hmm.
or.
Okay. When it comes to alcohol and caffeine and so on, we as psychologists do recommend to be taken in moderation. But
Mhm.
yes, it has helped a lot of people. For example, it is a stimulant, so it
Yeah.
increases your body metabolism and so on. So for someone who is going through depression quite a lot and so on, or maybe functioning is very low, sometimes it is recommended, especially even in addiction cases, people who have tobacco addiction and so on. So we don't directly just cut off one addiction. We have to go through it gradually. Anything which is taken from zero gear to fifth gear, crash hona zaruri hai. So what we do is we come up with a gradual process for the addiction to come low, and then we replace that addiction with something else which is a little similar but healthier. For example, tobacco addiction, brown है, bitter है, तो कभी कभी हम लोग brown, sorry, bitter chocolate or coffee or caffeine, it is introduced in very little moderation and under supervision. But when it comes to anxiety people, when it comes to overthinking, when it comes to restless people, that time caffeine is not very much recommended.
Yeah.
They're asked to take other alternatives which can help them function, which may help them calm down. So for them, tea or calming teas, herbal teas, they are recommended. Caffeine as such will not help them, even if it helps them with the weight loss and so on, and increases their metabolism. They are already on a very very high alert level, and if you introduce this again, it will just trigger the anxiety even more, and then their overthinking will go to a lot of places.
So that's I think enough of nutrition and exercise. Let's discuss about social media. So this is a very controversial thing. Like what I've seen, it plays a very important role. Like it is good, of course, in a lot of it has got a lot of positives, and but there are so many negatives also. Like I don't know. You're the psychologist, so so is does that affect also the mood of a person? Being
A
addicted.
lot.
Okay.
A lot, in so many ways. Now, I'll just tell you something of a child who was just in second standard. I
Mm.
went for, we were supposed to go to a cricket vada, that is a vada wala school
Okay.
and Jilla Parishad school. And we were
Mm.
supposed to help the teachers there because, of course, they had a staff void over there. So we went there, and this child is a second standard child. Now I am wearing a kurta, I'm wearing a lab coat, and then I'm wearing the coat which is given to us to indicate that we are a part of this social service group. And
Mhm.
I went inside the classroom just because my hair was open. The child was like, Allah, kya mal hai? This is what the reaction had come. Now the child, mother and father both are laborers. The only thing the child has is TV. So
Yeah.
whatever they learn is from TV. Now, especially when it comes to rape and the predatorship and the need to attack and the level of violence and aggression, it is, of course, those emotions are present in people, but that has found a medium to be released from the media itself, from
Yeah.
TVs, movies. They feel that they can go to any extent, and that
Mm.
just increases the anxiety to a whole other level. Okay? And that is not at all healthy. Now, other things when it comes to social media is when you see on Instagram, you see a lot of fancy places, houses which are very big and very beautiful dresses which cost lakhs of rupees, jewelries, and you see many of them dating very hot guys and hot girls and
Yeah.
so on, cars and whatnot. Okay, and you just go on, and then you feel so bad about what you have, that if you are happy and grateful what you had, one one hour, not even 1 hour, half an hour of social media can ruin that to
True.
bits. You just feel so low, you just feel so horrible about what you have. So yeah, so that is there. Mood swings बहुत ज़्यादा trigger होते हैं, अपना behavior बहुत ज़्यादा affect होता है, because if you have not noticed, when you go to a movie theater and you watch a movie which is very dhadam dhudum, and you come out of the movie, no matter how meek of a person you are, the moment you come out of the theater,
True.
you'll
True.
start imitating and you'll start having the walk of how the hero had or how the villain had. That is there. And then there's this jealousy factor which I already said. Then also there are some people who have a very very soft heart. उनको भी बहुत ज़्यादा affect होता है, even the littlest things. Like of course you should have a soft heart, you should have a kind heart, but when you know that you tend to get sucked into that cycle, even though
True.
you cannot help them, then you have to protect yourself from those news even
True.
more. Like for example, I have a cousin who saw the elephant, the mama elephant and the pregnant, it's the pregnant elephant
Yeah.
wala story. Of course, that is a very very sad event, but because of that, she's not able to eat since 3 days. Even that is not healthy because her not eating is not helping the elephant come back. So I'm not saying that is not a bad thing. It is not something helpful. It is not something that doesn't affect us. But we also have to protect ourselves from all these things. Social media has its benefit, of course, but I don't need to tell the benefits because everyone knows the benefit. You get to know a lot of people, you get a lot of friends, and then you get a lot of, like, for example, I am following one app which helps me keep in check of my workout. It helps me keep in check of what I eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it has its benefit, but everyone knows the benefit. That's why they're going for it. But it has its side effect as well.
So has there been any incident, any client who has come up to you and you recommend them about social media? Because as far as I know, if you tell anybody, to get off social media, and they'll be like, then they'll be at your case. So you do suggest people to get off social media or what?
See, we are just for namesake, we have grown up. We are all kids.
True.
For whom the moment you say that ye nahi karna hai, they will want to do it even more, no matter what age group you are. The moment someone says ki ye nahi karna, you will want to do it even more. So normally what I say is, I say that, just form a timetable and give enough time to giving time to yourself, enough time to work out, enough time to pursue your hobbies. When you give those amount of time, अपने आप social media का time कम हो जाता है.
True.
But not a lot of people I can directly say, go and say that no social media मत जाओ. Because to be honest, even मैं भी social media पे रहती हूँ and I have no right to tell the other person. What you can do is you can say how to modify your lifestyle and your data pattern so that you are not very much engaged in social media. When you take out one item, you have to replace it with another. You cannot just say कि ये निकाल दो. फिर वो void में कुछ भी आके बैठ सकता है. So rather you suggest people of what they can do and what is more healthier, what will help them, rather than telling them no, what not to do.
So any other suggestion you would like, advice you would like to give our viewers about mental health, like how to go about that, like in a brief, uh, in a brief way.
Okay, I am part of Emotional Wellbeing Helpline, and today we got a very, very beautiful post. That is that the best kind of love and the most needed kind of love is the one which you give yourself. That is self-love.
Sure.
And self-love is not pampering yourself. It is definitely not saying कि हाँ ठीक है ना आज नहीं किया तो हम लोग कभी भी नहीं करेंगे कुछ ना कुछ तो हो ही जाएगा. No, self love is making yourself go ahead and reach your potential. You have to learn to forgive yourself, of course, but you also have to learn to be there for yourself, be your own advocate, be your own activist
Hmm.
for fighting for your own needs. You
True.
cannot expect other people to give it to you when you yourself are not giving. One of the most prominent things which I'm learning, which I'm hearing very often right now is that person doesn't love me. My parents don't love me. This person doesn't accept me. My first question is, have you accepted yourself? Have you given yourself love? And if you have, then first of all, you won't need that the other person should. And second, you are not dependent on their emotion or their emotional outbursts or how they react because your whole focus is you. So you won't give a damn about what other people are saying.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that will be all, and it was
Yeah.
a pleasure to have you here. So, anything you want to say or anything you want to ask, also you can ask me. All I would,
Uh,
to the audience is that self-love, as she just talked about. So, any problem you're facing, you can always approach her through a social media, Instagram account, and all. And anything you want to ask, you can always ask me also regarding fitness and nutrition.
yes.
Thank you. So
Thank
that will be it. I think we should do it once again, if it's
Yeah.
possible.
Definitely, definitely. I am in, and I would love to have a little, discussion on how the nutrition also, from a nutritionist. Now, I was an amateur and I was giving the information which I very little had from here and there, and all the basics. But of course, you can guide on what kind of exercise helps and what kind of nutrition helps and so on. We
Sure,
can have a discussion on that.
sure. Thank you so much for joining us today, Nidhi. And
Thank you so much for calling me.
I'm gonna end the video now and have a
Yeah,
nice day.
cool. Thank you. Yeah.